Well, good afternoon and welcome back to another fishing adventure. It looks like a beautiful day here in Jersey. I can tell you it's freezing cold. We've got a really strong wind pushing over the top of us, and I've just found some small sheltered bays to come down to. Now I don't have long today. It's one of those kind of sessions where I've come out with an open mind. I don't really mind if I don't catch, because to be honest, in recent times I've not really been catching. Now if you're sitting here watching this, you might feel the same. You have those kind of slow patches where nothing really is working for you, and I've had that recently. I think that's just part of fishing, I guess. You win some, you lose some. So in this session I'm just going to dial it back. Nothing too fancy. Just go with the flow and see if we can catch some fish. But also just take it in, because that's what fishing's about really, ain't it? So what I'm going to do, we're going to get into it. Cast some lures and see if we can catch some fish. Who knows? Let's go. So to start off with, I need to select a lure. Got a lovely lure tray of lures here. Soft plastics, metals. Also got some hard lures in here. But what am I going to go for? I'm going to go for something that has caught me fish before. I know it's a proven catcher, and I have confidence with the lure, and that is a YKR sand eel. Now I've been using these for a while, a couple of seasons now. Great lures, great catchers, all different colours. But for me, it's not about the lure, it's about confidence. You can have all the lures in your tackle box, most expensive, the cheapest, but you always find that you've got 1 or 2 or 3 lures that catch you fish. And this one catches me fish. These rocks are very slippy. That yellow stuff can be treacherous. This black stuff, even worse. Always have confidence in what you're wearing. As I say, fishing is about confidence. Got confidence in these boots, so I kind of know that I should be fine. Always make sure that your feet are in a safe zone. As you can see, this stuff's pretty slick, pretty horrible. So just make sure you've got a nice place for your footing, locked in and ready. Just cast that one out, and as I say, I'm just going to go back to basics today. Nothing too hard. I'm just going to slow wind, see if we can locate any fish at all. Now this ain't an area that I fish that much. I just come here because there's no wind. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Straight wind, not too fast. I know from being a local in this area, it's probably about 10 foot deep. There's some boulders around, there's a bit of weeds. And like I always used to do when I first started fishing, I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to pepper the area. Not always casting in the same area, just a nice simple slow wind. As you can probably see in front of me, the water is a little murky, so hopefully the fish will either see the silhouette of the lure or pick up the vibration. Now my confidence is low at the moment. Fishing hasn't been the best for me, and to be honest, I've not really been getting out at the times that I want to fish. Comparing the start of this year to other years that I've had, the last couple of years I've really got out of the blocks quick. Me and Ben have picked up some really nice fish. That just hasn't happened this year. I've been fishing the areas that I want to fish, fishing the zones that have held fish for me, but I've just not picked up the fish. That's fishing. Get used to that. So like I was just saying, always have confidence in the lures that you're using, the colours and whatnot, the size, the profile. It all does matter at the end of the day, but fish with confidence. Now, if this doesn't work, I could probably go to a white lure, something that stands out a little bit more, maybe like a black, better silhouette. I don't know. I have actually got a couple of little surprises with me. Something a little bit brighter, which I might put on now. Chartreuse kind of colour, or rhubarb and custard, and then maybe just a plain white. I've got a few little goodies in there. I might actually stick on one of these little chartreuse lures in a minute. I really don't know. That's just how it feels when I come to fishing. I really just don't know at the moment. Nothing's really working for me. Nothing has worked lately. I guess you've just got to go with your gut instinct and just fish and fish and fish and fish until everything comes right. Again, I'm just letting this slowly sink to the bottom, just bringing it in on a slow retrieval. I find in the winter a lot of the fish are slower moving, feeding progressively on the bottom, crustaceans, still on fish, but I think whatever you put in front of a bass at this time of the year, it will eat. But just slower. But I just like to work it slow. It's a boring old man's game in the winter, but it can be really rewarding. I need a reward at the moment. Never know. Sometimes changing the lure colour or the size can be the answer. It has been my answer before. Not all the time, but it's something to take on board if you are fishing or you do lure fish and you don't catch anything, or you're struggling like I've been struggling. Change up, mix it up. Now you've probably seen that I'm just using a straight wind. I feel most confidence in a straight wind. There are different kind of retrievals that I also do use, but really depends on where I'm fishing and how I'm fishing or what I'm fishing for. But at the moment, just a slow straight wind is kind of what I feel confident in using. Well, nothing's really happening at the moment. Sod's law, to be honest. That's the story of my last couple of months. Fishing's just not been that good for me. But like I was just saying a second ago, there are so many different techniques when it comes to fishing. It's something that people ask me on the videos and in person all the time. How do you bring this lure in? How do you do this? How do you wind? All of that kind of stuff, you know. For me, there's no right way and there's no wrong way, to be honest. As long as you are using the correct size lure for the depth of water that you're using, or the correct kind of technique for the ground and situation that you're using the lure in and fishing in, I don't think there's any wrong or right way. Obviously different anglers have their own ways of fishing lures or the way that they present a lure, but for me, you know, I'm a straight wind guy. I like to cast my lure out, rod tip usually high, and just straight wind the lure, or rod tip down and straight winds it like that. Also, I like to cast it out, pump and wind the slack, pump and wind the slack, and that brings the lure up, and then it brings the lure down, it brings the lure up and brings the lure down. Also a wind and a stop, and a wind and a stop. With a wind and a stop, especially if you're using a weighted headed lure like so, the lure is going to fall to the bottom. So there is a chance that you might get stuck depending on the depth of water you're in. So food for thought, technique, how to wind a lure in, it's really up to you as the angler, what you're using as a lure. But it all come naturally. Once you start to catch fish using a particular technique, stick to it. Use it in other places that you are fishing. It's simple, it really is simple. Back to basics. Shame I still can't catch a fish doing it. Oh, I've just cast straight onto a fish. What the hell? I literally just cast out and I've got a fish. This is really strange. Unless I've foul hooked a fish, that hadn't even dropped. What's going on? This is really strange. I was just not feeling it at all and I was not catching anything. This fish is staying deep as well. It might be better than I think, unless I've got a bird. Oh, I've got a bass. I've got a fish. I've got a fish. It's not as good as I thought, but it's a fish. It is a fish. Boom. The duck is finally over. And as you can see, he fought really hard for his size. I thought he was a better fish because he was staying deep. There we go. A little silver. Wow, this one's really weird. This one's got like a really small dorsal fin. How strange is that? Yeah, look at that. That's super strange. Maybe he's been attacked. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of grown back. I don't know. But we've got a fish. And I'm super happy. Persistent paid off. Confidence in the lure I was chucking. I don't know, if I was using a lighter coloured lure that wasn't as bright, would that fish have seen it? I really don't know, but that's my first fish in a long time. Super happy. Thank you very much. Kiss for the viewers. Yibbida yibbida. See you later, go. Oh, it's gone through my legs. There we go. Well, look, I wasn't expecting that. I literally cast my lure out. Just thought I'd have a little play off this beach. And I've caught a fish. I must have cast that lure onto the fish's head. Maybe we'll have a couple more here. See if there's anything else around. But I'm happy. I've caught a fish. I'm happy as. I've got another one. No way. No way. No way. This fish feels a little bit better. He's probably not, he's probably really small, but I can see him fighting on the surface. Two fish in a go. What the hell? Feels a little bit heavier. It might not be, but we've got a second fish. Oh, he's a bit better. Yeah, he's a little bit better. Oh yeah, he is definitely a bit better. Oh yes. Oh yes. Wow. Oh, he's definitely much better. Well, like I was saying before, I just wanted to get out of the wind today. I wanted to go back to basics and just see if I could put a bend on the rod. Now this isn't an area that I fish. I never come here. Never come here at all. Caught that little schoolie. I must have cast that lure out before. It must have landed on the fish's head. Well, I just cast out again, a couple of casts later, and this fish ain't too bad at all. Again, this fish is taking a chartreuse coloured lure. Again, I was saying before that the clarity is really bad and confidence is key when you're fishing these kind of areas. Well, look at that. Now, that is not bad. He is really fat around the midriff. He's taking that lure. Look at that. I'm happy with that. I'm super happy with that. This really makes me super happy, man, because my fishing recently has been super poor. There we go. Not bad at all. Probably 50 centimeters pushing, but lovely belly on him. Beautiful. Right, let's get him back. Oh man, I'm super happy. Yes! Back to basics. Just cast and wind, baby. Well, thank you very much, mate. Invite your friends to the party. Oh, he's gone. Look at that. Ooh. Well, I wouldn't say confidence is oozing. I've been walking around for a good hour, fished all of the particular heads along this bay. Didn't really get the taste of bass. Couldn't smell the bass. I was kind of deflated. I just didn't think it was going to happen. But I thought, before I go, let's just give it one last burn. Just cast off this beach. It's just a pebble beach. I literally cast out and bang into a little whippersnapper, or hot dog, as I would say. A couple of casts later, hooked into a better fish. I knew it was a better fish. Little weighty lunges and kind of swirls along the top where it was coming up and going back down. And nailed it. 50 centimeters. To be honest, size does not matter. I've caught some fish, and that's just given me a little bit of self-confidence to get back out there again and hopefully get something. I might go out later, I don't know. Really depends. The wind's going to shift, so I can go to a particular area that I wanted, because this place just doesn't tick any boxes for me. But that I caught a fish. Who cares? Or a couple of fish. But it's a lovely evening. I'm out the wind. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I'm just out here, and this is what makes fishing for me, and this is why I love fishing so much. Being out here, taking it all in. Yeah. Right, till next time. Tight lines.